Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 323-405-1341. That's 323-405-1341. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
Shout out to Digga. Shout out to my man Godfrey. So yeah, we're back.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have been celebrating, these pagan holidays. Y'all have been fortifying the economic structure of this capitalist society by running out and getting presents and stuff like that. It's all good,
Hey, not to interrupt.
That's what you choose to do, huh?
What's the science behind the tree?
Well, there's a lot of different science. They used to do, just pagan rituals around this evergreen tree, especially those Caucasian people that lived in the north. The evergreen tree would be almost a sign, like a miracle to them, that it stayed green throughout the year when they were cold and fucked up and all of that. But the science of like hanging balls on the tree and all of that, like supposedly back in the days they used to cut people's heads off and hang them from the tree and all of that type of shit. So those balls really represent like decapitated heads and shit like that.
Wow.
That they would decorate trees with. Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of shit that goes back to Moloch and fucking all these pagan gods where they would offer up children, and they would have orgies in the streets, at the solstice and all this crazy shit. And it'll be a time of lawlessness, when people could just run amok, So yeah, that's just some of the history of
wow
of Christmas. And Saint Nick, actually Nick was referred to as the devil. Like that was known as another name for the devil. Old Nick. He's from old Saint Nick. Anyway.
And then if you rearrange the letters in Santa.
It's an anagram for Satan. The anagram for Satan. They just moving it around. Just like NASA. We broke down NASA last week. How that's an anagram for Satan. They just dropped the T. That's why when they counting down on the space launches, they say T minus, T minus 10, T minus 9, because they took the T out of Satan. Anyway, but what I do like about holidays, regardless of their sometimes their nefarious origins, is the aspect of sharing time with family, and just that whole, people get off work and they're able to see people that they haven't seen for a long time and all of that type of shit. And that's great. You know what I mean? That's great.
At the end of the year, we make you work all year long.
We shouldn't, wait for just these so-called holidays to do these things. But, it does give people an excuse to do it. So, that's a positive in it. And I'll take that. That's right. Throw that NASA. He said, I got to throw my NASA away right now. First of all, notice all the branding they've been having for NASA lately. Like they got all this NASA gear and sneakers and all kind of shit. Why do they need branding? You know what I mean? I'll tell you why, because it's some fake bullshit. Anyway, so you had a born day. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
You want to tell the people how old you are? Or are you trying to hide?
Man.
You trying to be like one of these guys that hide how old they are? I'm 54.
Nah, man.
I'm 54.
49. I just turned 49.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
About to hit that old 5-0, huh? You're going to join the 50 club, huh?
Hey, we're going to have Sagittarius on the sand next year, Lord Jamar.
Sagittarius on the sand.
You know where we're going to go?
That sounds nice. He said, you know we're going to go Miami.
Yes, sir. And you coming too.
Okay. Hey, it's the 50th. I have to come.
That's the big 5-0.
That's right. Oh, we having flat iggity discussions already. That's right. Nothing can penetrate the firmament. These motherfuckers ain't gone nowhere. They ain't been to no outer space and all of that type of bullshit. Somebody said, Lord Jamar interviewed the Far Side. Why you put LOL? I would interview them. What's wrong with that? Huh, Large Pro? And I don't think this is my brother, Large Pro, who I just interviewed for the 371 podcast. Shout out to my man Giovanni and Lavish T.
Shout out to them boys.
Yes, sir. So anyway, you said you had to go to court. What happened?
Man, free Mama Stacks, man.
What's
As everybody knows,
you want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's briefly, man. Family members, man. Greed, and trying to take over the estate. So the day after laying Papa Stacks to rest, with the taps. And
rest in peace, Papa Stacks. One of the, well, for us, the forefront, the main person here that's close to us that passed away. Later on, we're going to go over, some of the notable people that passed in 2022. And quite frankly, it's quite a lot. And I'm not just talking hip hop and all of that. I'm talking about just people we would know in general that are notable. So anyway, go ahead. Tell me about Papa Stacks and what happened.
Yeah, so Papa Stacks passed, and immediately after the funeral, I got family coming over from the East Coast and the West Coast because I got family on both coasts.
Mm-hmm.
I had to rush my uncles back to the airport in St. Louis, which is 2 hours away from where my folks live, because they had to rush back. They're business people in Cali, so they had to catch a flight back. I hit up my sis. I said, yo, is mom going back with you to your crib? We can't leave mom alone. Her husband just passed. She, oh, no, she'll be all right. She's good. I'm leaving. So I said, okay, I'm going to double back. And tomorrow I'm going to go and be Mama Stack's caregiver, make sure she's good. I've been doing it for 2 months, back and forth from St. Louis to Fort Leonard Wood.
Right.
So Candace and I is having dinner. Lo and behold, we get a knock at the door. Candace is like, babe, come to the door. Your sister's out front with her punk ass whitey husband and the police. So they stormed the crib. And it was a 1.5 hour standoff because Mama Stacks did not want to leave her crib to go with my sister and Whitey. So basically, I went all these years without a baby mama because I hear a lot of custody battle stories over children. And here I am now, a custody battle in the middle of a custody battle for my own mother. She got yanked out of her crib, y'all, from my sister.
Wow.
Just snatched Mama Stacks from under my nose in Mama Stacks' crib. So now I got to pay mad bread for a lawyer and prove that I have power of attorney and I'm my mother's caregiver. And all this is fueled by jealousy from my sister and this, trying to take the estate. She done stole mad bread out of mom's account.
And you said she got bread. Like, why is she doing this?
She's a doctor, man.
The fuck?
You and I talk behind the scenes. You said it's never enough money. Right,
that's true. For some people, it's never enough. If you can see a way to get more, motherfuckers is gonna go for it. And it's just a shame what money will do, how it will, it can divide families and just bring out sometimes the worst in human beings.
Right. And not for nothing, Lord J. We grown men, we got our own bread. So my angle is to protect Mama Stacks, make sure her estate is good and nobody is taking advantage and stealing from mom. But my baby sister is doing the opposite of that.
And so somehow she's finagled to where she now is like in custody of your mother, basically.
So what she did is she lied to the courts and the judge and said, Mom is living alone. She's incapable. She's incapacitated. And I need an emergency 30-day. So the judge issued an emergency 30-day guardianship, and she stormed the crib with it. And I've been doing research on this country when it comes to the elderly, and they're called the ward. They become the ward when somebody takes care of them.
Or ward.
And they lose voting rights. They lose any decision-making capabilities. They anything that you accumulate in your lifetime as far as wealth, money, property, houses, cars, you lose control of all of that. And they call you a ward.
So where are you as far as, being able to regain custody of Mama Stacks and where is this right now?
Well, it's still up in the air. I had a hearing last week, Tuesday. Mind you, my birthday's on the 20th. Tuesday was the 21st. So the day after my birthday, I had the hearing. Right. And the judge, I don't know, man. I'm thinking I'm going to need to get a better attorney, a better probate attorney, because the judge didn't hear any of facts or anything. He just cried and gave an emotional speech saying.
The judge cried?
The judge was crying and gave an emotional speech. He called me and my sister to the front in front of him with our lawyers each, and he gave an emotional speech crying,
saying what?
You guys need to show respect to your mom. And I'm sitting here like, okay, yes, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor. My sister and her husband sitting there looking stupid, quiet, because they wanted to talk about the estate. And he said, your mom's not dead yet. I don't want to talk about no estate. Show respect to your mom. And then he just extended. He extended my sister another 30-day emergency guardianship for my mom and said, we're going to set it for trial. That's where we are. Wow. Nothing was really, it was a hearing. Nothing was really heard at the hearing except an emotional speech from the judge. And mind you, my mother has her own attorney that's supposed to be provided by the courts, and she didn't even show up with her attorney. So I didn't even get to see Mom Dukes at the hearing. I haven't seen Mom Dukes for a month.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're going through this, but like somebody just said in the chat, this too shall pass, all storms shall pass. And,
right.
Hopefully, justice and rightfulness will prevail, Amen. I was just thinking about those words earlier: freedom, justice, and equality. That's something that, especially, Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, we would see those words in our lessons, and it's like, those really are there in our 12 jewels. Like, those are things that we truly need. Like, freedom. What is freedom? Like, to truly be free and unhindered by whatever.
The establishment.
It could be the establishment. It could be your own mind. You might need to be free from a mind state. You might need to be free from worry and stress. That's freedom. What does real justice look like? Justice is when some wrong shit happens, like when you think about reparations, that's supposed to be a form of justice, but justice is one's reward or penalty. So me and my brother Reality was talking about this whole reparations, and one of my brothers, my brother Wise, is talking about, we demanding reparations, and my other brother's like, no, we're not demanding shit, because a demand comes with some sort of threat. You understand? If you don't do this, we're gonna do this. And in order for us as Black people to demand reparations, demand justice, we have to be moving as one. And we can't even, you know what I mean?
Right.
We can't even come together to say, all right, we're going to boycott Vlad. We can't even come together and say, all right, we're going to stop fucking with Gucci or Balenciaga and all this. Remember when Gucci did some shit? Yes. Motherfuckers was mad at them for like 2 months, and then niggas is right back on Gucci.
Yes, I remember.
Right now, we telling you that Balenciaga is about fucking with babies and shit like that, and people's acting all mad about Balenciaga. And trust me, in like 3 months, they're gonna be back wearing some Balenciaga shit. You understand?
Right.
So this is part of the problem why we can't receive justice and equality. Equality is, for things to be equal all around the board. Like. If we didn't have redlining and all of this type of shit, if there weren't certain things in place to try to give this man an upper hand above us, then it's not like we're asking for I don't want anything to put me above. We just want equality, freedom, justice, and equality. But they know that they can't give equality because we're not really equal. Like, if you were to put us on an equal footing, we would just, you know what I mean?
Right.
We would just, by leaps and bounds, just be above everybody. That's why they do so much to try to keep us down. So yeah, I was just thinking about freedom, justice, and equality. And it sounds like your mom's needs a little bit of all of that right now, huh?
Yes. Let me ask you, Lord Jamar, how would you feel? I know you got brothers, but let's say, how would you feel the baby in the family? You're having dinner Saturday with your beloved mom, right? I know she's dear to you as well. And all of a sudden, your baby sibling comes in, and next thing you know, it was an 1.5 hour standoff with the police. And the police chief says, stand down, because, the police chief knew my Papa Stacks pretty well. So we're not going to pull this elderly woman out of her house. And then your sibling says, no, fuck that, and calls the ambulance, EMS, and then pull your mom out the house. And your mom's saying, Jamar, please, Jamar, do something, please. As you're seeing these people strap your mother down to the stretcher, throw her in the back of the ambulance, and haul her away. What would you do?
I don't know. I might would have got locked up, to be honest, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It's a hard thing, but my emotions might have took the best of me, and I might have been like, get the fuck off, and start swinging on EMTs and police and all of that type of shit. Like, I don't know what I would have done in that moment. I'm sure it was very confusing for you, very heart-wrenching, very traumatic.
Very much so.
All I could say is, I feel for you, and I hope things go your way.
Yes.
I hope the things go the way of righteousness and good.
Yes.
I
love you, my brother.
Love you too, bro.